Anyhow, let's do this. This is a request from SB raving about this band from Australia. November, a very special month for Aussie music and supporting the Aussie scene. But she swears that this particular band called Future Static is going to make international people's elbow. They're going to crush it coming up soon. The name of the song here is There's Nowhere Else to Go by Future Static, brought to us by SB. Let's go. All right. Little Fiji. Got a little jump scare. Ooh, listen to that bass. I like that change there. Yep. Give me that major third, caught me off guard. Great build into that hook. Ah, there she is. A lot going on there, man. A lot to unpack. Yeah, this is the accessible part in the Broadway. Talk about it when we're done. The hook here. Big synthy ambient work in the background too, carrying a heavy lift. Messing around with the Bacardi. A Bacardi and Coke. And I guess this is where the power break is. Not the power breaks like you're stopping, but we call the breakdown, right? I knew they were going to put something in there. All right, let's unpack this one here. The brutality of the mix. So I want to start the other way around. Usually I talk about the mix at the end. Well, like I said before, the engineer is part of the band. And then you find that a lot of times the engineer sometimes is literally part of the band, also one of the musicians. A lot of heaviness in the sense of the engineering aspect. I mean, they opened it up with the lo-fi power, approach to engineering, just to slowly bring you in. You know you're coming into something, you could feel it, you can sense it, overemphasize it by going ahead and making it kind of mono and clammed up and kind of, lo-fied, if you would, and then it blows up. Second thing I want to talk about is the composing, the arrangement of the riff. Real complex. And there's a part of me where I look at it in my head when I'm listening to they're the intervallic patterns that can cross 2 to 3, even sometimes 4 octaves, depending if it's, if you're open tuning, if you're low string, it's let's say an A, drop A, and you're doing like 0, guitar players and those who know this, you're hitting 0, so you're going 0, 6, 14, you know what I'm saying? I know that's probably sounded so fucking lame, but you know what I'm talking about. Those really wide intervallic riff arrangements and stuff have become something that is not surprising. This is why I say this. What I mean is that there's a level of musicianship that you get to, that you push those levels. You're going to go ahead and spread that out there and take these riffs and really get them to work. And the trick is not to overdo it. That's the scary thing. Now, they've already know what they are capable of doing as musicians. How do you not overdo that and still keep it, sustainable in the arrangement? In the meantime, the drummer is accenting, if not lifting that to another level. A lot of what's happening there, the taps, the pull-offs, the intervallic, riff is every note's almost landing on some kind of a percussive note from the drummer. It could be a kick, it could be a snare, it could be a tom fill or something like that. And very few times does that one of those notes hang out on their own without being emphasized by, let's say, a percussion part of what the drummer's playing. Of course, the bass work on that as well, gives it that visceral support, from the bottom end of it and stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't spend enough time listening to the bass work on that, but it was bone crushing, but I just was really focused. The other thing was her vocals. And once again, this is the time that we're in. This is the stage of what this genre of metal has evolved to. I watched a lot of what people were saying here, and some people were saying it sounds, rubber stamped. Some people were saying, it was really, and what I mean by rubber stamped, that it all begins to sound the same and everything like that. That there are elements of other bands that have already made a successful run on particular genres, but this has opened up Pandora's box to expand a lot of people's artistry. Her voice, in so many different ways, had so many different textures. Some of it was tricked out with engineering. The A-B between beautiful, clean, powerful, Ginsu knife-cutting style singing, and then all of a sudden flipping it around. I think there were a few measures in there where she really went down darker and deeper, and really, that too is becoming something that is such a staple, if you would, in this type of production. Musicianship-wise, they were all phenomenal. The tone of what I was hearing was great. I can't imagine this mix getting any cleaner, and the levels of or where the musicians were placed in their mix. It's still always a wonder for me how the guitar players manage those tones. I mean, that's magic in of itself. It was a great track. I really dug it, SB, and I think you have